On today's show, Magic the Gathering scraps their recently announced Monster Hunter cards, tips to get ready for Gogmazios, and we find out what our main weapon says about us. So don't forget your hot drinks as we ready up for this episode of the Palibros. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 23 of the Palibros, a podcast where a group of friends get together to talk about anything and everything Monster Hunter. Of course, I am one of your hosts and the first to cart, Patrick Jovez. Alongside me, we have the Mixet Maniac, Brian.
Hey, everyone.
And the Hunting Horn Elitist, Max.
How's it going, everybody? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
That's what I was trying to say. I was like, happy Thursday? What day are we on? We tried to record early.
God damn it. We go live once and you can't hold your shit together. Yeah, how was your guys' holidays?
Good. Yeah, it's a nice time with family. Got to hang out with Max in person, which was nice. So we got to get 3 of the Palibros together. I know you were busy working that day, so but it was a good time.
Yeah.
Had some lunch. Very nice.
Where'd you guys go? Or
we went.
What kind of food did you guys get?
I guess American Comfort, Max. Is that what you call it? American. It was like burgers.
A burger place.
Okay. Yeah. Didn't want to blow up your spot. Just dox ourselves.
Yeah. It was really good. I think the highlight of the experience, Max will remember this. I tried an old Arnold Palmer that they had.
Arnie Palmy.
And I kid you not, the way I described how it tasted, it wasn't good. It tasted a little bit like a petting zoo.
Okay,
yeah,
expound.
Expound. It tasted like the smell you get when you go to the petting zoo at like a county fair or at like a or I guess a zoo. It's like that. It smells like manure. Maybe
I was gonna say you're thinking of the term feces.
Poop.
Wait, so is this like your first time having an Arnold Palmer? Like ever? Oh, just there.
No, I've had it before.
Yeah, they're fucking delicious.
Max can vouch in the sense that I passed that drink around to at least 3 other people on the table, and they all instantly went, "Oh my god, yeah, that's exactly what it tastes like." And
you're like me in the sense that like you usually don't give a shit, but if something is like super offensive to the point that you notice it, you're like, something's wrong here, right?
It was not. Yeah, it was not right. Okay.
So what the hell happened? Did you guys take it back, or did you get like, here, you try this?
We didn't tell the waiter or the staff to do it. We didn't tell them. I didn't have the heart to be like, yo, your Arnold Palmer tastes like a petting zoo. Because we're like, how do you react to that?
Like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. Did you not want like my balls dipped in your drink? Or so did you just order another drink, or?
Yeah, the waitress came back and was like, hey, I'm not loving this Arnold Palmer. Can I get a Coke Zero instead? And she's like, sure. But we're happy. It sounds like Max got lemonade and his was fine. Prickly pear, right?
Yeah, I got prickly pear lemonade and I did not taste any feces
in your
that's where all the nutrients are.
And then Aaron had the iced tea by itself. So we each had the split drinks on the table and they were fine, but my combo just tasted like
they just saw you and they said, fuck this guy. Get the goat.
Get the goat in there.
I somewhat recommended the place, so I was feeling a little nervous at that point.
It's all the long con. Oh man, that's fucking awesome.
How was your holidays?
It was great. I got to spend it with family. I usually am working, so I was lucky enough to be off that day, and I was just happy enough to like spend it with family, get some good food. I believe the following Friday we went to my folks because I usually go to my in-laws. Nobody say anything. They have the better cooking. Yeah, it's just it was all fun. It's great to see family as usual. We don't get to spend enough time with anyone just because of how busy life is. But yeah, it was great. I'm looking forward to, it's the Christmas season. We just the reason I'm so dressed up today as usual, or not as usual, but like I have pants on, which is crazy. Wow. Is we had like our office little office party. So
nice.
Yeah, so I'm definitely feeling the Christmas vibes. So yeah, super excited about that. Real quick before we start today's show, I just want to give a huge shout out to one of our super fans, Deltora5307. They have been commenting, liking our episodes. They've been in the comments. They have been making suggestions of, like trivia segments that we like. They seem to like our Monster Hunter trivia, which is fucking awesome. They're even like going back to the very first episodes, and I'm seeing like comments from episode 1, seeing something interesting about episode 3. So we're just having like a dialogue back and forth. So I just want to say thank you so much for being a fellow Palibro, Deltora. Your suggestions, I actually have taken them into consideration for some upcoming Monster Hunter Mastery segments. It's not one for one what you suggested, but you gave me such great ideas, and I can't wait to torture these guys with, those awesome questions and prompts. Yeah, thank you so much for all the support, all the love, watching the videos, liking, fucking, just commenting. It means so much from all of us. So thank you so much. We here at the Palibros salute you. Unlike, just a fucking scumbag of a fan named Greg Miller. He's just a deplorable human being. He can't do an impossible in Skate to save his fucking life. He's just the worst. I don't care that our podcast was your top 5, Spotify Wrapped podcasts of all time. We're at number 5. Like, that's just a participation trophy at this point, So, Greg Miller, hashtag Greg sucks. Screw that guy. Absolutely just a horrible human being. Thank you for your support. Like, subscribe, share. But without all of that out the way, let me remind you that this is the Palibros podcast, where each and every episode we try to keep you up to date on the latest Monster Hunter news, play Monster Hunter trivia, and in general talk about one of our favorite franchises. So don't forget, you can get each and every episode on youtube.com/thepalibros, Spotify, and a variety of other podcast services for your listening pleasure. And if you like what we do, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing the episode with friends, and hitting that bell icon to help support us and to know when each of the latest episodes are posted. Oh, I guess I played that sound a little too soon. But for now, let's go to the quest board to see what's going on in Monster Hunter news. Today in Monster Hunter news, we have 3 stories. Our first story, Magic the Gathering is scrapping its Monster Hunter crossover and starting over. This news comes by way of Gizmodo and is written by James Whitbrook. It's been a good year as far as Wizards of the Coast is concerned when it comes to Magic the Gathering and its universe beyond collaborations. Final Fantasy made a ton of money, plenty more theme sets are on the way, and people have started to slowly but surely accept more and more that the crossover sets are part of the game's future. So it's probably not great then that the company has had to publicly and embarrassingly pull the plug on one of its latest collaborations and try to do better. That's exactly what's happening with the upcoming Monster Hunter card set being crafted for Secret Lair, Wizard of the Coast's limited time special release store. Revealed just weeks ago after an early press release published by Wizards leaked the collaboration's existence. The set is now being pulled from its planned December 1 release, which as of right now is December 4th. That's when we're recording. Basically, it's not out on shelves. Quote, like many of you, we're big fans of Monster Hunter. It's why we put this super drop together, end quote. A statement published on the official Magic the Gathering website reads in part, quote, but in our excitement, we missed the mark on elements like card selection and faithfully integrating the world and mechanics of Monster Hunter. As a result, the overall construction of this super drop is not up to the standard you have to come to expect. Pulling super drops back isn't something we're going to do very often, but we're committed to doing better. Capcom is on board for us to take another swing at this super drop as well, end quote. Ever since the collaboration's accidental reveal, Magic players and Monster Hunter fans alike have criticized Wizards' choices for cards used to receive the Monster Hunter art, both representing a swath of Magic cards that usually don't command the value that cards usually selected for super drops, which themselves can cost $30 to $40 or more, depending on size and scope, and cards that didn't seem to fit with the flavoring they were being designated with, such as creatures over pieces of gear from the game being used to represent artifact cards, or certain cards from Magic's color wheel, and the usual elemental archetypes they represent, not being reflected in the Monster Hunter beasts they're reskinned as. It further didn't help that several cards, including spelling errors, notably the Champion of Lambholt reskin, quote, Champion of Kotoko, a misspelling of Kokoto, the village that serves as the main hub of the original Monster Hunter, as well as Monster Hunter Freedom. If Magic fans have been at least willing to accept Universes Beyond when it meant both flavorful theming of whatever license was being used and mechanically exciting cards, the Monster Hunter Super Drop represented players' worst fear about it: awkward, clumsy tie-ins that served neither fan of the crossover nor players of Magic. At least this time, Wizards of the Coast agreed, but as it begins to make Universes Beyond even more present in the cycle of Magic releases, a mishap like this one is only going to make Magic players less receptive. Whew, that was a lot. I mean, I know you guys aren't the biggest card guys. Unfortunately, we don't have our resident card guy here. Ryan, he forgot to ready up, so he's just waiting for us back there in the gathering hub while we are here in the main quest. But yeah, what do you guys think? Like, I know we didn't really have much information on the release before, and we're kind of just speculating, like, are people just hating just to hate, or is this like deserved, or like what?
I mean, I see this as an absolute win, except, well, other than for Wizards of the Coast trying to save face, but
right,
for Magic players and for Monster Hunter fans, I see this as a net positive. I mean, it didn't seem like there were that many people in any camp that were happy with the selection of cards, or even a lot of people. Some people felt like the art was a little bit too drab, or it wasn't, like, the proportions are weird. I mean, if they're taking another crack at all these, then I mean, obviously we don't know what the replaced cards are going to be, whether they're, whether the cards that they come back with are going to be super great and everybody's going to be happy. We don't know that yet, but
right,
I mean, everybody seemed to be pretty unhappy before, so hopefully it turns out for the better.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I mean, they mentioned that Capcom being on board, how much supervision or like write-off do they have, in
like in the first place? Yeah,
in the first place, right? Like, you'd think that there would be maybe some
like QA,
QA or some extra steps in the process to make sure everything's kosher. And it seemed like to misspell something pretty significant like that, I could see being like, how did that pass? Yeah, QA. And
I mean, I am a little curious as to whether or not it did pass, since it was technically leaked through.
Right.
So I don't know at what point. I mean, it didn't leak that long ago in the grand scheme of things, so I don't know what their pipeline looks like in terms of developing and releasing cards and getting everything typeset and ready to go. So I don't know, maybe it was leaked in its final stages and that actually would have passed through, or maybe it was leaked in sort of like an earlier stage where maybe they hadn't caught everything yet, and that sort of fanned the flames a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel like I'd like to give hopefully benefit of the doubt there. I wonder why they didn't draw attention. Like, if that were the case, they'd be, hey, everyone, like, this is an early build.
That's true.
That is true. Yeah, you guys bring up very good points. I think my thoughts are kind of like, I'm glad to see that it's not a completely dead project, because I mean, one, I am a Monster Hunter fan. I have no business in Magic, but Magic has really been trying to get me to spend my money, and I think being able for them to have their due diligence and just making sure everything is in order, just making sure like we get the best of Monster Hunter, because nerds are a special fandom You know, we know exactly what's right, what's wrong with our things. We like them. You know, I mean, you take a look at the Sonic movie, the original Sonic like character model. Right. I mean, bullying works. I mean, like seriously, Sonic. You look at Sonic now. You know, in hindsight, like Sonic's is probably one of the best representations of video games being adapted to movies. And I wonder if it would still have that sentiment if we had like the original, you know, depiction of him just with his teeth and, you know, just weird proportion sizes. So, you know, I mean, as long like having a voice being like, hey, we're not happy with this. You guys have messed up on these things. You know, you guys need to take it back to the drawing board, and then being receptive of it and being like, you know, we understand you guys' frustration. Let's go ahead and take this back to the drawing board. Give you guys exactly, you know, we're selling these things, so we want you guys to enjoy it, and they are going to be part of the game's future. So, you know, just make sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's. So this story seems like pretty, you know, equal, like in that sense.
Yeah, sounds like a win.
Yeah,
overall, as Max said. So
also misrepresenting the monsters, like their elements. You have like a guy, Chris, and he's like, oh, it's a fire element or like a red card. And you're like, wait, what the fuck? I mean, I don't know magic, so but yeah, like that seems like a gross misrepresentation of like, did you guys even try? You know,
yeah, like cutting corners.
Like could you imagine if like the SpongeBob crossover was like, hell yeah, he eats pizza. It's like, no, he does not cook. I mean, there's one episode where they do the Krusty Krab pizza, but it's like, yeah, the Krabby Patty isn't a fucking piece of broccoli or some shit. You know, just get your shit right. Just do your homework. Moving on to our second story. Monster Hunter Wild Steam page gives tips on preparing for the free Title 4 update coming Wednesday, December 16th. This news comes from the Monster Hunter community team via Steam. Hey hunters, how's the hunting? We hope you've been enjoying Title Update 3, from the Final Fantasy XIV special collaboration to the recent Festival of Accord Dreamspell event and the arrival of the first 9-star Arch-Tempered monster, New Udra. Speaking of the title updates, we're here today to share with you all some cool information about Free Title Update 4, including the news that it will be releasing on December 16th. Get ready for Title Update 4 featuring the addition of the Elder Dragon, Gogmazios. You must be HR 100 plus to participate. Still not HR 100? Complete the investigations of Great Hunts. This way you can gain more Hunter rank points, which you can use to increase your Hunter rank. Through permanent event quests and other quests, you can raise your HR while gathering the materials for Arshian weapons and armor spheres. Some tips on Gogmazios. The oil covering Gogmazios' body can be softened with fire attacks, making it easier to land hits, exposing its weakness to dragon element. In addition, new endgame related weapon features. As well as the new monster Gogmazios, we're also adding new weapon related endgame features. Materials obtained from Gogmazios can be used with Arshian weapons of rarity 8 to create new, stronger Arshian weapons that have one set bonus skill and one group skill chosen at random. They will retain their existing reinforcement bonuses. In addition, reinforcement bonuses for them are even stronger than those for the standard Arshian weapon, so prepare to make further use of reinforcement materials such as Oracle Sight. From today, the following 2 event quests, which yield Arshian materials and ancient weapon fragments rewards, will be permanently available: King of a Faraway Sky and Masterless Claws. In preparation for Title Update 4, be sure to forge and upgrade your Arshian weapons. Going on to armor and armor sphere updates, transcend your armor and more armor spheres. To help you face the high attack power of Gogmazios, we're also adding a new way to upgrade your armor even further. Through a process called transcending, you can make your armor even stronger than before after you reach HR 100 plus. I don't know why transcending makes it's like, you guys ever heard that Dalai Lama joke? Where he goes like, a Dalai Lama goes into a pizza shop and the pizza guy's like, hey, what can I get you? And the Dalai Lama goes, making me one with everything.
The best flavor.
Yeah, transcending raises the limits imposed on armor sphere upgrades and also enhances the decoration slots on armor of rarity 5 and 6, supporting their viability in late and endgame content. In Title Update 4, we're also making armor spheres easier to obtain, but in the meantime, you can gather them through 7-star plus investigations and event quests. Smelting adjustments. Whoever smelt it, dealt it. We'll be increasing the amount of smelting points gained from some of the monster parts that have not previously been widely used for Oraclecite and armor sphere smelting. Additionally, we'll be implementing the following measures to make armor spheres easier to obtain for players. Permanent event quests for gathering heavy armor spheres. Increase the amount of armor spheres you gained from limited bounties. 9-star Rathalos and weapon buffs. 9-star Rathalos will appear in certain locales, and you can save it as an investigation. You can also create a quest for multiple targets, including 9-star Rathalos with other monsters. We'll also be implementing balance changes, in quotations, buffs, for some weapon types in Title Update 4. More details on these adjustments coming soon. Performance and stability. This is the one we've all been waiting for. We remain committed to listening to your feedback and improving both performance and stability of the game. We are targeting free Title Update 4 to implement a multifaceted plan, including CPU and GPU related optimizations. Then the team goes on to thank the fans for all the support, yada, yada, yada. Lots to unpack there. How are you guys feeling about this Title Update 4 coming out December 16th?
It's a lot. I have to temper my excitement just because
Arch temper.
It's the tempered arch temper. I got to arch temper my excitement. It's really cool to see that monster come back, and from a game that I think we all really loved in 4 Ultimate. And naturally, there's all this new content that we're excited for. I mean, I always like the idea of there being some new shiny thing to work towards and having more of an end game. But there's just I get stuck on the performance. I feel like the game is that's something they keep kind of pushing off, and they keep promising at later dates and later times. And I could be wrong, but there's a chance that even some of these multifaceted updates will require more than the Title 4 update timeline. So sure, there might be a couple things I'll add December 16th. Hopefully I got that date right. And then maybe more come, into the next year when they have more time. But I want to play it. There's a lot of content I want to do with you all, and I'm excited to see what some of these new features are going to be like. I feel like the armor transcending, isn't that something that's been in the past games where you can you had to unlock the next tier of upgrade slots or something? Does that sound right?
I don't remember. I was never good at upgrading my armor anyways. I'm just like, okay, just use my iframes. If I don't get hit, I won't need defense. I'm a little curious about the new Arshan weapon changes. That could be really cool to have some more unique bonus sets on the weapons. I'm glad that it doesn't require you to re-roll your existing reinforcements. Yeah. Because that was going to be like, you have to restart everything. Oh, that'd be really rough. That sucks, yeah.
Very curious, though. It says it's going to make them stronger. Yeah, so I'll wait to see.
I don't think I've re-rolled a weapon since Destiny 1 in anything.
Re-roll, yeah. What do y'all think?
I am interested in the transcending in terms of what it might potentially bring to the table for lower rarity armors, because they mentioned that it's potentially will be adding more decoration slots to rarity 5 and 6 armor. Right. I'm curious as to whether that's going to move the needle to maybe not be optimal per se, but I generally tend to try and theory craft sort of my own sets a little bit, and I'm not super hardcore about it, but I'm curious if there's any sort of more pieces of the puzzle to work with in terms of some of these armor pieces that maybe didn't have sort of the sort of the weighted skills or slots compared to some of the more recent arch tempered armor or higher rarity armor. Yeah. Maybe those will be a game changer for some new combinations.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the biggest draw of kind of Monster Hunter as a game is, being able to create different variations of your armor sets and having different skill sets and being able to replay the same thing in a different way. That there's 14 different weapon types. There's a multitude of different armor skits or armor skill sets, and you can really customize it I think that's one of my biggest draws is you could really customize the hell out of this game however you want to play it and make it play completely different. For me, this is the first time I'm ever even thinking about having like a dual weapon setup for the Gogmazios fight. You know, they say,
good call.
You know, the fire, if you do fire attacks on the Gogmazios, you're gonna take away like its oil covered body, very sexual, but it, you know, open it up for its actual weakness, which is elemental attacks. And so I'm like, that's a really cool like implementation of mechanics that hasn't really been done before in this game. You know, like it's, I think if we go back to like our earlier episodes and we talk about, you know, we get to like carry 2 weapons, and then after some time we're like, yeah, the 2 weapons things is cool, but I don't really see myself like using a secondary weapon during the same hunt, even during like multi hunts. So like having a monster that actually makes you, or like forces you to, doesn't force you, but like allows you to play into that mechanic, I think is pretty interesting. And I'm interested to, you know, actually bring like a fire charge blade and a dragon element charge blade. Another thing is like, I'm interested, I kind of want to save our builds as of right now. Like we manage a loadout and we try without any upgrades, just going Gogmazios as like a challenge hunt. Just see what we could do. Like give us like 3 tries, see if we can figure it out, and then, you know, play regularly, and we could always come back to it. But you know, the big one for me is like more armor spheres. Yay. You know, because it previously felt like there was like a glass ceiling on obtaining them. Like having to do, you know, the weeklies and dailies and stuff like that. And you feel like, to me, it felt like with the amount of time that I put in, I wasn't getting as many for like the time you put in. But having permanent event quests that, you know, yield armor spheres is like a really great, you know, change. And I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of that. Especially, like I said earlier, I am not I love Monster Hunter. I'm not, in my eyes, I'm not an expert. I'm not good because my dumbass is just like, I just want to be able to fight this thing, and I'm going to learn the hard way. Like, yes, there's mechanics of like, oh, why don't you just fucking use heavy armor spheres and upgrade your armor? It's like, no, why don't I just put everything into evasion, and that way I have better iframes and just learn it the harder way. And so, you know, I like giving myself unnecessary challenges. But yeah, I'm glad that there's going to be more, you know, armor upgrading. That's definitely going to be a plus for other hunters as well. More upgrades to armor through transcending sounds great. You know, like I said, just more buffs to armor. I'm interested to see like patch notes on like the buffs for weapons coming out. So I'll keep an eye out on that, and you'll definitely hear that here when that comes out.
Yep.
I want to agree with you about the dual weapon thing that they're kind of, I'm going to say pushing, but they've kind of had it in the series in the past. It's like in a small amount. Like you have something like a Bareth, where the mud on its back has a different elemental weakness than the normal Bareth.
Right.
Or you have something like, I think if I remember correctly, like the Nursilla, where it has which I don't remember which Nursilla it was, where it has like the Kezu hide or the Gypsros hide on its back.
Oh yeah.
Where like there's multiple different potential elemental weaknesses on it. Where it's an interesting idea that they didn't really take a full advantage of by having this sort of like, you got to break it with this element and then switch to this other element. It's kind of, I might be a little bit nervous about going too far with it. Where it becomes something where it's like mandatory, where a system like that, you think like, oh, that might fit perfectly for like Eletreon from World, where it's like there's the different elemental damage checkpoints in the different phases, where it's like you basically can't complete it unless you only have one weapon, really. You're aiming to sort of clear the threshold on one element and then break the horn and then go through it. But it's like with 2 weapons, like you could realistically hit all of the checkpoints, and I don't know that that's a direction that I would necessarily want the game to go in. But it is an interesting sort of build crafting idea to sort of have to engage with more weapons, more strategies.
Yeah,
it's not definitely something that I'm not opposed to, and I just wanted to bring up mainly that they've kind of toyed with that in the past with some of these other monsters.
Yeah, that's a great pull. I mean,
I'm trying to remember too.
Yeah, I was like, is there anything like that? And I just don't pay attention, so I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I mean, if you go back to that part of the game, I guess we would be playing the game together, and someone would probably, okay, I'll rock this so that we can knock off like the Nersilla's like skin first, and then someone else will run this type of elemental. We didn't have like the dual weapon systems, but we had each other to like rely on. So I guess it would be like more of like a preparation part that we're also interested in Monster Hunter. But this way you could kind of even solo hunts now. I mean, Let Me Solo Her is probably going to do it like in a diaper.
You said rely on each other, and I was hoping you to go, because the strongest weapon is friendship.
Yeah.
that Rocket Hearts clips and stuff.
Oh my god, it reminds me of the Rocket Hunter clip where they're like, no, you pass it, and they all drive up the wall and they're like, I know, let's use the power of friendship, and they fucking squeeze the ball and it shoots like 200 miles an hour.
Amazing.
But yeah, like I think we touched on it maybe last episode or the episode before, but mechanics that didn't really pan out through things that they were kind of promoting, like the whole group monster hunts, where we kind of see it with Doshiguma, and I'm like, I still want to see that implemented. Like I like the idea of that. I want to see that implemented better, because like Max said back in that episode, he was like, veteran hunters just equip a dung bomb. I want to see something where it forces us to figure out a way to make them disperse, or like have a special monster that really ties into that mechanic that isn't just like a siege or like Monster Hunter Rise kind of like siege battle where you like repel everything. I don't know. I'm interested in like the mechanics they kind of promoted, and I just want to see them fully fleshed out in an interesting way, because it seems like Monster Hunter Wilds kind of promotes like those ideas, like here's a dual weapon set. We haven't really changed dual weapons at all. I even picked up a second weapon. My second main weapon, or I guess secondary now, is Insect Glaive. And I actually have been pretty good with that. I go into hunts and that thing just stays sheathed inside like my secret. And so I'm like, okay, well, you guys promote really good ideas. I just don't think they were fleshed out enough. And I think with the Gogmazios coming December 16th, I think it'll be interesting to actually try and approach it in the way that they want us to. So looking forward to that. December 16th title update 4. Also looking forward to performance adjustments. Hopefully, always fingers crossed that this is going to be the one that fixes everything. If not, modders will get to that as well. But moving on to our third and final story, I would appreciate it if you could pick it up again. Monster Hunter Wilds director pleads with lapsed players to return. This article comes from WCCFtech.com and is written by Francesco Di Maio. Real quick before we start, big shout out to Funky Gouda in the chat right now. This is our second ever live episode of the Palibros. Funky Gouda, absolute great streamer. They started streaming. Go check them out. Funky Gouda, twitch.tv.com/Funky Gouda. Thank you so much for the support. Appreciate you, bro. And enjoy the rest of the podcast. Back to the article. One of the most significant flaws of Monster Hunter Wilds when it launched earlier this year was the low challenge level offered by the launch content. The general consensus on this issue wasn't fueled by the opinion of veteran players only. Myself, a hunter far from being a series veteran, found the game way too easy, and with the launch endgame not offering anything significantly challenging, I left the game behind, returning to Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak for my Monster Hunter fix. Oh, they know what they're doing. However, the game's producer claims that this issue has been resolved, urging lapsed players to return to the game. Speaking at the PlayStation Partner Awards 2025 Japan Asia, as reported by IGN, producer Yuya Takuda talked about the challenges of balancing the game for both newcomers and veterans. Quote, "We analyzed what kind of places beginners were stuck in, including Monster Hunter World. We have worked on these points in turn to make it easier for new users to clear hurdles such as being able to reach certain monsters or to craft certain types of armor. In addition, we have tried to adopt as many new elements as possible that are beneficial for both beginners and existing users, such as focus mode. This time, as a result of making as a result of making the game easy to beat, even for new players and players who could not clear it before, I think the difficulty curve was a little lacking for existing users, end quote, says Takuda-san. Following its release in February, Monster Hunter Wilds received multiple updates, which it introduced additional content and a revamped endgame offering more challenges to clear. While the game's update cycle has yet to be completed and there's more to come before the obligatory big expansion, Takuda-san believes that the low difficulty launch issues have been addressed. Quote, "If you beat the game immediately after its release and stopped playing, I would appreciate if you could pick it up again," end quote, the producer said. As they say, first impressions last a lifetime, so it is understandable that many completed Monster Hunter Wilds and never returned to it due to the low challenge level, and more importantly, performance issues, which have yet to be fixed to this day. To see Francesco's thoughts on Monster Hunter Wilds, check his review out over at wccftech.com. But for now, yeah, I think that's pretty interesting to see that the producer is being so transparent about the making of the game, the development of the game, and being like, we talk about it since the beginning of the Palibros. It's like, okay, how do we bring in new people without alienating our, existing fan base? And I just think it's great that the producer is shedding some light on that and being able to admit that, you guys are right. This game was way too easy. We dumbed it down a little too much. And I think, I think that's just great that he's transparent about it. But what's your guys' take?
Yeah, if anything, it could be a precursor for a lot of fun for the future. I think maybe it's a little too early. Like, if they were saying this when the DLC comes out, like the paid DLC for G rank, where we may by that point have a lot more updates and not only quality of life improvements, but I think the difficulty for endgame would be good.
Right.
And hopefully a lot of the performance issues will be fixed. That to me would be almost a better time to say this. Like, hey, the game's been out for over a year and a lot of good content in preparation for that G rank DLC, especially with the fixes not in place yet.
Right.
For the performance. I feel like it's a little early to say that, but I mean, there's still a lot of fun content here, and it'd be nice if people could give another shot. But what if they don't like it a second time? You're not going to get them to come back for a third. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
As we always say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think though is I think this is good news for the eventual G rank update. I think understanding that your initial launch wasn't the best, I think they're looking extra closely at what they're developing now for the eventual G rank update. So, I mean, I don't know if it would be an entirely bad thing if they overstepped and made it like Dark Souls levels. I think that would be kind of interesting difficulty. I wouldn't mind doing that. I mean, it would give the game more legs, or like artificially, to be like, okay, this game is really hard. Let's everyone grind shit. But then you'd get into the Star Wars Battlefront 2 kind of mentality of like, oh, you don't want to fucking pay $40 for your Luke Skywalker skin? Just play thousands of hours, and you'll eventually be able to unlock them for free. And then everyone does the math, and you're like, I have to play for 40 hours every day, which is impossible, and it'll be unlockable in like 2 weeks. It's like, I mean, there's like the other, basically what I'm saying is like there's the other side of it. It's like you could overstep and just make it too hard. But I think being able to like take a step back after you and be like, here's where we are, here's where we're going, and now we have a better way to like readjust and make our halftime adjustments to figure out the future of Monster Hunter Wilds. But like Brian said, I am also cautiously optimistic. I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Wilds lately, just soloing stuff. I've been having a fucking blast with all the 9-star event quest, the new Udra. Doing it in a group is still like fairly easy, especially a group of hunters that know what they're doing. I've been running it with just randos online and just steamrolling this thing under like 5 minutes. But the challenge that I'm finding in like doing the hunt solo has actually been super fun. Like if you guys don't know, I am not a speed hunter. We do challenges and stuff like that are like speed hunting, but we are not speed hunters. We enjoy the game for the love of the game. No shade at speed hunters at all, but that's just not how I enjoy the game. And so like doing like a 10, 15 minute, 20, even 20 minute hunt, that just reminds me of the good old days of just like, I could get my ass whooped, but there's like this back and forth of like knowing when to attack, when to dodge, when to sharpen, when to like drink a potion, stuff like that. And so I'm actually enjoying the bit of challenge solo right now. And I think if we can translate that to having a full group of players and having that so that we're not just like running through monsters, I think then we're golden. But, that's just me. It looks like we have some breaking news here, actually. Monster Hunter Wilds director offhand comments spark misplaced outrage among Japanese fans about Rise Erasure and internal strife between dev teams. I forgot to write down where this came from. Let me see. Just give me 1 second. Monster Hunter director. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, it looks like this is from automatonmedia.com. It doesn't say who it's by. Oh, and it looks like it is written by Amber V. So go ahead and check that out. But yeah, on December 3rd, SIE held its annual PlayStation Partner Awards for the Japan/Asia region, during which Capcom's Monster Hunter Wilds won a grand award given to the top 5 best-selling PlayStation titles developed in Asia in the past year. Following the award ceremony, Wilds director Yuya Takuda and producer Ryozo Sugimoto gave an interview to the media, and a detail from their statements has caused a somewhat misguided outrage among fans in Japan. While answering a question about how he strove to reconcile, quote, attracting new players, quote, end quote, versus, quote, satisfying veteran fans, end quote, when developing Monster Hunter Wilds, Takuda says his team analyzed data on where players got stuck in previous games. The root of the anger of his statement lies in him describing Monster Hunter World 2018 as the, quote, predecessor or previous title in the series, or Zensaku in Japanese, even though Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak came between World and Wilds in 2021. A screenshot of the interview isolating the phrase, quote, the previous title, Monster Hunter World, end quote, spoken by Takuda was posted to X, garnering over 3.2 thousand likes and a good number of disappointed comments. Similar posts criticizing the choice of words have also gained significant traction among fans. Japanese users interpreted Takuda's words as an attempt to dismiss Rise, which was developed by the, quote, portable team at Capcom behind portable third generation's Rise/Sunbreak, rather than the high-end console team behind World, Iceborne, and now Wilds, reflecting some kind of perceived political or internal strife between the two lines. On the other hand, others have pointed out that the outrage is likely unfounded, given that Takuda is simply referring to the previous game he himself has directly been involved in. This is an especially important point to consider, given that Takuda was talking about his dev team analyzing its own past work. This context is missing from the X post the outrage originated from. Additionally, some have pointed out that the development of Monster Hunter Wilds began before Sunbreak was released, which could be an extra reason why Takuda ended up phrasing his answer the way he did. All things considered, it doesn't seem like there's any ill intent behind the statement. Still, some fans insist that Takuda should have been more considerate of players' point of view and chosen his words more carefully to avoid fueling people's anxieties about the series. What are we doing? What are we talking about here? Like,
people need to chill out.
Seriously, this is to me. This seems like a bunch of overblown misunderstanding, and I mean, yes, we could play devil's advocate and be like, yeah, like he's fucking talking shit about the portable team, but what does that get us after? Like, it doesn't affect you or me in the long run. I don't get it. Like, there's nothing coming out of that statement for either
That would be
for anyone.
I mean, it's outraged by some Monster Hunter Rise fanboys with a chip on their shoulder that think that Rise is better than
Every game.
Wilds and World.
The thing
Right,
that
yeah.
blows my mind is this is like I thought this was like the US, but you know, like I don't know. I feel like Japanese, audiences tend to be a bit more reserved than like.
I mean, it's Twitter is going to Twitter.
I mean, that's true.
Regardless of region.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking of like the differences between like, MMA, like K1 versus UFC. Like you see K1 matches like way back in the day, and everyone is just like zoned in, focused, being respectful of like the two people that are in there putting their lives on the line to like entertain, but also fight each other. And you like just juxtapose that to UFC fights. Like if you're not doing anything besides sizing up your opponent in like the first like 5 seconds, they start booing you. And I think it's just this different culture. So this comes to me as like, this is weird. I could have sworn we were talking about the US talking shit about this, like causing drama. But,
I think,
yeah, go ahead.
I think there's just going to be a vocal minority everywhere, anywhere, pretty much. I mean, I don't think that I refuse to believe that there's any sort of majority or like huge amount of people that have gone over the deep end,
especially from Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, it's like even taking what he said in its most unfavorable terms, like it's still like it's not a huge deal, and like it's so easy to look at it and be like, well, yeah, that maybe it was a slip of the tongue if you want to interpret it unfavorably, but yeah, it's kind of a nothing burger.
Exactly. I mean, if we were to try to size something out of this, maybe, no, I'm not even gonna fucking give it air. Like just let the negativity go away. All these games are fucking great. They're all Monster Hunter at the end of the day. Let's just enjoy Monster Hunter.
I'm kind of curious from like a design perspective on how they would go about, because they said they were looking at where players got stuck in the previous games. Like at what point, like, I mean, especially looking at like the Japanese audience or the US audience, like World was when the game blew up. So like from a design perspective, like what percentage of the market of potential Monster Hunter players have they captured? Like, at what point does where people got stuck in the previous game not necessarily apply to the next game? Like, if everyone that's gonna play Monster Hunter got World and played through World, like, does coming to design Wilds, like, are you designing around the same places where people got stuck? Like, I'm curious how much they like where they looked at and how much they felt like they need to carry over it, because it seems like, I mean, I guess Wilds did sell a ton.
Yeah, I mean,
World also sold a ton, and I'm curious like how much of those things that they're looking at can truly be ported over, 1-to-1, or what they took from that just purely out of
design philosophy,
curiosity, and how they're looking to design it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the more interesting take from this article. It's like, why are you guys focusing on that shit? Like, he's talking about development processes of like where people got stuck. Let's focus on that shit. But people are like Max says, Twitter is gonna Twitter. X is gonna X, and X gonna give it to you. But that brings us to the end of Monster Hunter news. And now, fellow hunters, the time has come, and so have I. That's right, it's time to play Monster Hunter Mastery. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Monster Hunter Mastery, the segment of the podcast where each of our contestants compete in different rounds of trivia that will test their knowledge of all things Monster Hunter. However, today it looks like we are down a host, so for this episode of the Palibros podcast, we are going to have you, our fellow hunters, participate for this round of Monster Hunter Mastery. For today's game, you will be playing Let's Get Physical. In this game, you will have until the end of the episode to try to guess the monster based on the monster's physiological description as it is written in the Monster Hunter Wiki. For example, if I read, "These monsters are large bipedal wyverns with a spiny armored hide covering their body that is primarily bright red with black markings throughout," the correct answer would be Rathalos. Brian and Max, you can reveal your answers at the end of the episode as well, just to see how everyone fared. This isn't an official thing. We're not getting points to Team Alzino or Team Zenogre, Team Tigrix, anything like that. Just having a quick little fun thing, because I miss Monster Hunter Mastery, and it's hard to get 4 people in the same room at the same time with all different lives. But for now, the monster's description you will be guessing reads as follows. This monster is a large amphibian with a striking orange and indigo coloration. Its lower jaw harbors large tusks along a large set of molars that are capable of crushing prey with ease. This monster also has a spiky, stubby tail that swells up when angered. So, everyone that is listening to this episode of the Palibros, you guys have till the end of the episode before we reveal the monster for that description. Of course, if you hear that sound, it means that we are all readied up for the main event of the evening. Meat. 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 So tasty.
Hold on, Brian.
What your main weapon says about you. This video comes by Insane Hunter, and the description is as follows. Every single one of you claims you're just supporting the team. You picked it to help others, or you're selfless. Absolute bullshit. You picked said weapon because you're a hipster who needed everyone to know you're different. And you're so skilled at this game that you can carry while pretending it's casual support. My fellow hunter, that's just one of the 14 weapons I'm calling out in this video. Your weapon isn't a tool, it's a personality test you didn't realize you were taking. After 20 years of hunting since PS2, I know exactly who you are based on what's in your hands. And if your weapon description doesn't make you feel personally attacked, I didn't do my job. For today's purposes, we will be going over each of our main weapons in this video. If you're curious as to what Insane Hunter has to say about your weapon, please check out his video, give him a like, share it with your friends, and let him know in the comments that the Palibros sent you. The link to the video will be in the description below. I thought this would be a fun little exercise for us. You know, obviously this person plays Monster Hunter. It's not as, you know, attacky as you might seem. I mean, I don't think so. I only watched the intro. But, you know, we try to promote positivity over here at the Monster Hunter, at the Palibros. I think this is all in good fun, so don't take this shit seriously. You know, he enjoys the game. We all enjoy the game. And like I said, go ahead and check out Insane Hunter over at youtube.com. That is spelled INZ as in zebra, ANE Hunter. Check them out. Give them a like, give them a follow, subscribe. Tell them the Palibros sent you. And yeah, we're here to celebrate the entire community of Monster Hunter fans. And I think this would be a fun little exercise for us. So Brian, if you could go ahead and bring up the video for us. We're going to go ahead and put that up on your screen right now. And I want to just kind of play the intro for us, just in case the description was a little bit different.
Alrighty, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
My fellow hunter, you think you chose your main weapon. You didn't. Your weapon chose you. Or more accurately, your weapon revealed who you already were. Every hunter who picks up great sword thinks they're doing it for the damage. Every longsword main swears it's about the counters. Every hunting horn user claims they're just supporting the team. Bullshit. Your weapon is a personality test you didn't realize you were taking. And after 20 years of hunting since the PS2 era, watching hundreds of hunters, I can tell you exactly who you are based on what's in your hands. So let's get into it. This is Monster Hunter Wilds specific, and I'm not holding back.
All right, let's go ahead and pause it there.
Mm-hmm.
Who volunteers as tribute first? Who wants to get torn apart first?
Go ripped.
Also, I realized that if you're watching the video of this podcast, I have not had the correct, assets. I think I have to rework this because now we hardly do like 3-person streams. We usually do all 4 of us.
Oh,
I don't know what's
yeah,
happening
I
over
see
here.
it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I mean,
We're-
you get what you pay for, which is this is absolutely free.
Split down the middle.
I don't know what's happening, but yeah, you know, like, subscribe, share. Maybe your support will help us figure out how to be better at podcasting. But yeah, before we go, who wants to go first?
All right, throw me under the bus.
All right, what is your weapon, Brian? For those who don't know.
Well, for those who don't know, I've been a big fan of the lance since, oh gosh, probably
Move my fucking head over to the side or some shit.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, get in there. I want to say, I think I started playing around with lance in the early like Freedom 2 games when we had the ability to like do evade lancing. I think that was a lot of fun when the shield sucked. But since the latest games, Lance has become more and more focused on the shield encounters. I think when Monster Hunter Tri came out, that's probably when I think Lance got the biggest glow up with the counter ability in the first place, and it was really overtuned. I think in that game, and I had a blast using it. So, been really enjoying it. Really like it. It's been a weapon that's been really fun for me because it allows me to kind of sit and watch and learn a monster's movesets without worry for the most part, because I have a big old shield I can block things for. And over time, as I feel more comfortable, I can slowly start pushing the blocks into counters, and it really lets you stick to a monster and just repeatedly pump out damage, which has been really nice. And one of my favorite show-off moments, Lance doesn't have a ton of them, is fighting Fatalis and Monster Hunter Iceborne. And when it does its like cone-based like fire breath, if you block it high enough up in like closer to its face, you will literally block flame and a cone behind you for people to like hide.
Oh, that's
So you can just be like,
that's your
it's
Piccolo
sick.
moment.
Yeah, you're just
That's
like
pretty
paladin.
sick,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's really cool. So
Never
really
worked for me
fun.
though. I always died.
Just anyways. But the bane of my existence has always been anything that requires guard up. Oh gosh. So
yeah.
what do I think what they're gonna say about me? I think they're gonna say that I'm the most reliable player. He never dies. He's the true tank, and the dependable user that isn't compensating for anything. I swear. Just a really big lance and a really big shield. Everything's better, bigger. Yeah.
All right. It looks like we might have dropped the video or ended the stream.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pull it back up here in a sec. Let me get to the timestamp for me. I see. Okay, got it.
All right. And you know what? Before we get to, let's have Max go next. But when we get to like this part where we're gonna tell us what we think about our weapons, let's go back to this screen if you're good with that, so we have a better like looking video, because I'm like scooting over to the left and right. I'm like, hi. So yeah, just yeah, if you could pull up the stream, and then after you're done, we'll go ahead and throw it to Max, just so it looks better presented. You know, they're paying nothing for this goddamn podcast, but I still like to put out good quality content.
All right, so let me pull up the stream here. Share. Okay. All right, and I'm ready to go at 9:50 here.
All right. Let's see what Insane Hunter has to say about lances.
Lance, you don't dodge, you block, and there's a fucking difference. You are the wall, not like a wall, not playing as a wall. You are the wall. That's not metaphor. That's your actual role. While everyone else is panic rolling, sprint dodging, repositioning, you're walking forward with a shield the size of a car and a poker stick that says, I'm not leaving. You're the immovable object, the unstoppable force. You see a charging massive monster and think, finally, something worth blocking. You don't react to attacks. You counter them. You don't chase monsters. You corner them. You don't panic when surrounded. You power guard, absorb every hit, and counter thrust everything that thought it was safe. Every other weapon is gambling, hoping the dodge iframes work, praying the counter timing lands, running when things get bad. Not you. You chose to stand there. That roar, blocked. That charge, blocked. That unblockable attack everyone's running from. You'll guard it and counter thrust through your shield anyway. You've also absolutely ignored mechanics because I can just block it. Monster has a complex phase transition. You blocked it. Monster has a special gimmick attack. Blocked. Tutorial says, dodge this. Blocked. Lance mains don't learn mechanics. You overrule them. But here's what makes you legendary. You're in complete control. Every single moment. You're not reacting. You're dictating. The monster isn't hunting you. You're hunting it. And you haven't moved from this spot in 3 minutes. Lance mains have main character energy without the ego. You're just there, in the monster's face. Every hunt, refusing to move. You don't fear monsters. Monsters learn to fear you. Gun Lance.
Well,
You looked
go
at
ahead, pause
Lance
that there.
and said,
I'm gonna pause there. That's a good transition, though.
All right, if you could drop that back or like end that stream, and let's get our faces going in this thing.
Yeah, I'll end the stream here.
Dude, okay. Well, how do you feel about that?
I was expecting to get ripped apart a little bit more.
So was
It
I. I was like,
very
this is making
positive.
me feel like I want. Let's go. Let's just turn on the hunt. Let's just turn on Monster Hunter now. Because
Yeah.
you got some good fucking words of like praise there.
Yeah, very dependable. I was like, oh, okay, let's go. Super spot on though about just like the game is trying to show you how to do something really cool. You're like, it's okay, I can block it.
You taught me how to block.
Mm-hmm. So especially with something like Guard Up, I think they've done more of that in the later games where they're like, oh, this is a cool mechanic or a cool element to the fight. Like, we're not going to let you block it without some skill investment.
Mhm.
But for the most part, in most of the early game stuff, it's just like Supernova. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna right. Everyone's just running for their lives, and you have the Lance player just like turtling, just like 360 spinning, being like, "I'll block every direction. It's okay."
My God, you like the amount of times I'm running around like a fucking chicken with his head cut off. I'm just like, I don't know what's happening. I just look at my camera, looking back at the monster I'm trying to run away from, and Brian like is just standing there. He's just there, and then the little poking animation is just so slow and dainty. And it's like, this is the perfect Brian weapon. Like the amount of times seeing what is that fucking the Diablos go underground, and I'm freaking the fuck out. Max is probably over there on the side, just like hunting horn, oliving up. I'm just like, I don't know what's gonna happen, and I just see Brian spinning with a shield. I'm like, he has the ultimate defense.
He can't hit me from all angles.
For the record, I do not corner horn, so I'm not over on this side.
That's strike
Yes,
two for
he's
me
ready to
because
dodge.
that's happened before. I said he corner horns, but he does not. Max is very,
Yeah.
you know what? I think that's a great place to start. Max, what do you think
I will
about
say-
yours?
I'm a little sad because I look back fondly on the days of the evade lance
Okay.
when you get like the. So I don't agree 100%. Because like at least in some of the older games, because I really love the old days where you had like the maxed evade extender on Lance, and you'd like turn your back towards the monster or something, and you'd like hop the back hops with
Right.
an evade extender
Insane,
are so crazy.
I remember seeing those. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
There was that one thing. I can't remember if it was in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate or 4 Ultimate, where if you had evade +3, that consisted of the amount of evasion frames that evade +3 gave you was either the exact amount or more than how many frames a hop gave you.
Mm.
So if you chained
Yeah.
3 hops together, you were invincible the entire time. And it
Fucking
was like,
crazy.
damn,
That's
like evade
OP.
Lance just got overpowered.
Yeah. You the intentional turn away just to hop through. You're just like
Yeah.
phasing through shit now. It was this
Mhm.
after image. All right. Brian got away pretty scot-free there. Max, why don't you tell us a little bit about your weapon?
So I mainly play hunting horn, though I tend to jump around a lot with the hammer or sword and shield, bow guns. But sort of the old faithfuls, the hunting horn. That's what I always sort of end up coming back to, and I personally like it because I like music a lot, and I feel like jamming out. The feeling of playing a guitar on a monster's head
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
I think
I'm curious what he's gonna say, because I feel like at one point I felt like the hunting horn was like the hipster weapon because it's like not that many people use it, but to be honest, in Wilds I feel like insect glaive is the hipster weapon because
In wilds.
nobody,
Yeah.
I never see people using insect glaive, and the way that hunting horn has been changed over the years is it's very aggressive, and to me, insect glaive is the one now that where it's like you're playing a different game from everybody else. Like you're busy flying through the sky and too busy doing that to do damage. But
Okay. I mean, yeah.
I feel like the stigma around hunting horns is made by people that corner horn, where like, oh, it's just a buff bot. But hunting horn is a respectable weapon now. It in many speed runs has done very well relative to other weapons.
That's awesome. Yeah. Let's hope for the best and expect the worst.
Wish you luck.
And Brian, go ahead and bring that up. Let's hope for the best. All right, we're all ready.
Hunting horn, you're all liars. Every single hunting horn says they picked it to support the team. You say you're just trying to help. You act like it's about musical passion and
You'd say that.
Absolute bullshit. You picked hunting horn because you're a hipster who you're different. Oh, you play longsword? How original. I play the rarest weapon in the game. Yes, it requires more game knowledge. Yes, the optimal song rotation is complicated. No, you wouldn't understand. You're that hunter. You bring up playing horn in every conversation. You've memorized more melodies than some people have combos. Someone says good buffs, and you internally glow while externally deflecting with, oh, it's nothing, just doing my part. You live for that acknowledgement. But here's the truth you won't say out loud. Hunting horn mains are elite. You're doing everything Hammer does. Head breaks, KOs, stuns, while simultaneously maintaining attack up, defense up, sonic, barrier, and 3 other buffs. Reading the fight well enough to know which melodies to prioritize, and still matching DPS with dedicated damage dealers. You're not supporting the team. You're carrying while making it look casual. Hunting horn mains are the most skilled players in Monster Hunter, pretending they're just there to help. And here's what you won't admit. Everyone loves you, and you're dooting, and you know it. Every lobby you join, people are relieved. Every hunt, someone thanks you for buffs. You act humble, but inside, you're glowing, because you're the most wanted weapon in multiplayer, and you've earned every bit of that respect. You're not fooling anyone. We see you. We know what you're doing, and we're grateful you're too modest to admit how good you actually are. Lance.
That's fucking perfect. I don't know how many times after a hunt I'm like, thank you so much for saving my ass. Max, I'm curious on your thoughts.
So I did see some of that coming. I will stick by that. I don't necessarily think that it's like the unicorn weapon, but there is certainly it does feel pretty good to save lives. I'll say that.
Yeah, you're a giver, generous lover.
It's a very well-rounded weapon. I feel like as far as supporting goes, like the sword and shield, like item mushroomancers type stuff is like a better, faster emergency support. But there's just something about hunting horn that I will stick by my claim that I do like the music. I am a hunting horn collector, and I craft them all.
You really do, though. Yeah, that's no lie. You have your whole... If you had a wall to mount them.
My whole box is full of every rarity of hunting horn and all maxed out.
And we're all grateful for all of them.
Yes.
Hunting horn does have really great fucking like designed weapons. And throwing back to a previous episode of the Palibros, if you want to check out how hunting horns fared, go ahead and check out our 2-part episode of the Palibros where we do the Monster Hunter ranking weapon design contest. I don't know what it's called, but that's what happens in the episode. Check those out. They're probably our highest viewed episodes. Yeah, I mean, I was dying throughout all of that because from my point of view as someone who's never touched hunting horn and just seeing the amount of like it first started out like I was like, oh, he's shit talking this. Maybe we should like cut the video. But you know, you're tough. You're a tough guy. You can handle that. You have you know, moxie right now from your last meal. But then he started talking about the real shit of like, you are the best fucking support, like, and like, you know exactly what the fuck you're doing, and you've saved my ass countless times throughout like every career of Monster Hunter. I don't know how many, it's literally countless times, and you continue to do so. And he's fucking right. Every time you show up or we're all hunting together, I'm so fucking happy you're doing something like playing that horn, you're blowing the shit out of it, or rocking out, depending on whatever, you know, style you're using. I'm just like, I'm so fucking glad we have a main hunting horn guy in our party. So, you know, great shit. He had me in the first half, not gonna lie.
Yeah, to prove him right, and I'll deflect a little bit with some humility. The skill floor has come down, so it's not like all hunting horn people are gods. It used to be back in the day where, like, you know, Freedom Unite, you'd have all of the songs would be locked away in like the menu, so you'd actually have to memorize them. But now you can just check a setting and then have all the songs displayed on your screen, so you don't have to have everything memorized for every combination of notes.
Right,
which is appreciated.
I had to turn that off on accident when we did the challenge, and I got hunting horn. I didn't know
that was
any of my
fucking
combos
awesome.
I was like, this is hard.
For a future challenge, we're gonna do Monster Hunter roguelike, and part of the things we're just to turn off all HUD. No HUD. That would be great to get pictures for like thumbnails and stuff too. But all right, I guess that leaves me. As you all know, I am a Charge Blade main. Charge Blade, if you didn't know, in Swedish is translation for fattest cock in the room.
Oh yes, of course.
And yeah, you know, you have that big Charge Blade energy. Everything about it is great. You know, it's versatile. Hey, you want something fast or something quick? Let's do Sword and Shield mode. It's basically a bigger version of Sword and Shield. I get, you know, pretty cool guard points when I'm charging my files up. Oh, you want a chainsaw? Oh, we have that shit too. Change into Savage Axe mode, you know, and then you want a cool ass ultimate attack that's reminiscent of other Capcom games like Street Fighter. Yeah, we fucking got that in store for you. So it is just the best weapon. Like, anyone who touches a Charge Blade is like the best hunter of all time. It's not even a close contest, you know. He talked up about like hunting horn, but we all fucking know Charge Blade's where it's at. Charge Blade mains rise up. Longsword users, get the hell out of here. Don't even talk to me about dual blades. Yeah, you know, I think it's gonna be fucking awesome. Insane Hunter is probably just giving me a glowing review, and I can't wait to hear.
All right, shall we find out?
Let's do it. Go ahead and start it up.
Charge Blade. You looked at Sword and Shield and thought, I need a bigger sword, a bigger shield, and I need to hit harder to be satisfied. And you got all three, plus file management, guard points, 2 modes, and a 7-step damage rotation. Charge Blade is the most complex weapon in Monster Hunter. The community agrees, you agree, and you're proud of it. That's the point. Charge sword, store files, transfer to shield, charge shield, build gauge, morph to axe, wait for opening, SAED. That's your basic loop, and it's already more steps than most weapons have total. Someone asks about your weapon choice, and you light up. Guard points, you can explain those. SAED versus Savage Axe. You've got opinions. File management, that's muscle memory now. You've practiced this enough that the complexity is the appeal. Here's what you won't admit. You've whiffed SAEDs. That's massive attack where all your files explode at once. The monster moved. You committed anyway. You hit dirt, stood there in recovery frame, and questioned every decision that led you to this weapon. But when you don't whiff, when you guard point into perfect SAED, into part, break, into file, detonation. That's the mastery everyone else is too intimidated to learn. That's why you picked the most complex weapon in the game. Not despite the complexity, because of its insect.
Okay. Wow, you were right. Glowing review all across the board.
That's actually pretty fucking crazy. I was sure I was gonna get fucking ripped apart. But shit, I guess he confirms it. Insane Hunter, you got a new fucking subscriber right now. Great. You know, that's the end of the episode. Fuck everybody. Like, Chargeblade mains rise up. Yeah, I mean, of course, to be, you know, more humble about it, it is pretty complex. I honestly don't think it's as complex as he makes it out to be. Honestly, I would, from an outsider's point of view, I still would say Hunting Horn is very more complex. You have to learn fucking music within a fucking action RPG. You know, that's crazy to me. And then also like Insect Glaive. That was when I changed to Insect Glaive for those couple months. It was really hard. I'm still not very good at Insect Glaive. I still can't fucking land my offset, which is like a giant crazy buff that I don't even know if that they've taken care of that yet. The entire animation of you like descending that dive kick descend is like completely like invulnerable. So, and I still can't get that down. You know, I as a gamer, I tend to gravitate towards games that are mechanically interesting. So I think that's why Chargeblade has kept my attention. Originally, I started out my Freedom Unite, my first ever Monster Hunter game, as a Sword and Shield guy, because, you know, my character Hot Link is Link from another game that I am not creative. I like taking people from other games that I like, putting them in like the universe of this and being like, okay, that's the story, that's my headcanon. So it's Link, his name's Hot Link. Give him a Sword and Shield because that's what Link rocks. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I couldn't figure out what to do against, you know, the Yuncut coup until, you know, we've told the story like 1,000 times already. But I believe Chargeblade wasn't introduced until Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. I believe that's right.
Yes.
So before that, I was a great swordman, you know? I was unga bunga, like big damage numbers, swing sword, hit head, and cut tail. Like, that's all I cared about. Because I was like, that seems the easiest for my little, you know, brain to like process. So that's kind of where I was at until I found Chargeblade, and then my mind expanded and I saw the Matrix, and I was like, this is so fucking cool. The being able to like, you know, manage your file systems, or manage your file like levels, you know, charging your weapon. I'm still not great at guard points. You know, there's little animations where you're able to like transition between Savage Axe mode and your Sword and Shield, and you know, you have a guard there. People who are really exceptional at Chargeblade are able to pull that off. I do it on accident and the most random times, and I get hyped up every time. It's just, you know, a little gift from me. Like for me, it was like, oh, I didn't cart this time and Max didn't have to save me. And, you know, it's, you know, I love that. But yeah, I mean, I agree. It is technically, for someone who's new to the series, Chargeblade is pretty difficult compared to, you know, point and shoot a bowgun or longsword. You stab, 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 dual blades, stab, stab, stab. Sword and Shield, you know, there's a little bit more things going on there. But Chargeblade, you have to, just like Insect Glaive, just like, you know, Hunting Horn, yeah, there's other things to worry about than just attacking or just defending. So, you know, yeah, I think that was fucking great. I actually am very surprised that it was very glowing. I thought he was gonna rip my shit apart. But I wonder, I'm gonna leave this up to the group. Should we go ahead and take a look at what Ryan's is without him, or should we wait for the next episode and we can all laugh together? We can hold it over his head.
We could.
I mean, I was a great sword main as well. I'm down. I think I know where Ryan's at.
Give him a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of DNA shared between the greatsword and the Chargeblade in terms of the chasing the adrenaline, the high of getting the perfect charge slash versus the perfect SAED.
Oh man, I forgot about that. When I whiff my SAEDs, like that is just like the worst feeling in the world. You just unleash all that potential energy into the ground, and it's like motherfucker.
That ground is dead, dude. It's
yeah. Oh yeah, the ground is not coming back. You know, you should see the other guy. Yeah, I mean that's what I was prior to Charge Blade. It was like big damage, big numbers, big swing, and it is like when you think when I personally think Monster Hunter, just aesthetically, I see a big ass fucking sword. Like I don't know how everyone else sees it, but you know I think Rathalos, I see giant fucking weapon, which is a great sword. So you know, I think people who the positives of it. I think people who main greatsword and are really good at it, I think they have such a great understanding of the game. They have great understanding of timing, great understanding of, you know, min-maxing your damage output. But I also think they hide behind that and they have a sense of pride of like, yeah, I could do fucking quadruple digits like in one swing, like get off my dick. You know, oh, you're gonna set up some barrel bombs at the end so that we can fucking blow this thing up. I got this. I got the triple charge with focus level 3. Like, don't everyone stand back. I think Ryan
the priority.
Ryan may agree there, but you know, yeah, let's go ahead and see what they have to say about Greatsword.
Roger.
See what they have to say about. All right, hit it.
Great sword. Great sword is the poster child of Monster Hunter, and you know it. You're the Unga Bunga. You're the caveman. You're the hunter who saw the biggest sword in the game and said, that's one. You don't do combos. You don't do complexity. You press one button really, really hard. Focus mode tracking. You're using it to line up true charge slashes while the monster's mid-roar, while everyone else is panicking about the screaming monster. You're standing there, sword charging, waiting for that 3-second window. Your entire existence is patience followed by violence. You've carted holding a charge because you saw the monster telegraph an attack. You knew it was coming and you still committed because stopping mid-charge means admitting you read it wrong. Great sword mains don't admit mistakes. They cart with conviction. You've also mounted monsters just to get your full charge off during the knockdown. That's not optimal. That's not necessary. You just needed everyone to see that 1,500 damage number. But here's the thing. You've mastered the hardest discipline in Monster Hunter. Perfect timing. One button, perfect execution. No safety net, no repositioning tool. Just you reading the monster, committing fully. You're either the MVP who ended the hunt in 7 minutes, or you triple carted and blamed bad hitboxes. There's no in between. That's why you're the poster child. Long sword.
Oh my god, this guy is just hitting the fucking nail on the head. I love that. Get out of here. My stream is going great. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he nailed that. I feel like Ryan in spirit would agree.
I'm gonna disagree.
Really?
Devil's advocate. I do not see Greatsword as an Unga Bunga weapon. I think that Greatsword requires too much thought and planning and foresight and knowledge to be like a true Unga Bunga weapon.
I think to the untrained eye, it's Unga Bunga.
I mean, it's more so now than it used to be because the Greatsword has more tools than ever now in terms of like the incredibly accessible offset attack that you can just throw out whenever it comes up quickly. The fact that you have offset and you can clash. The fact that you can reposition your true charge slashes now, and you can tackle out and to do other to take hits potentially. I mean that does require a lot of knowledge, but I'd say like Dual Blades is more of an Unga Bunga weapon.
Say it louder for the people in the back, Max.
I think Dual Blades is more of an Unga Bunga weapon than Greatsword is.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
I mean, I'm not saying
Just
that
kidding.
to be fair,
Kidding.
because dual blades and longsword is like 65% of the player base, and we don't want to disparage that for any
No,
potential
we love
viewers out
everyone
there.
that plays dual blade and longsword. They're great. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously this is all in jest and good fun. Yeah, I fucking love this video. I purposefully did not watch any of this other than the intro, just to get our authentic reactions, and I was like cautiously like, I hope this really doesn't really just rip our shit apart. But
It could go very well or it could go very poorly.
But I think Insane Hunter fucking got it down. They nailed that video. I'm gonna watch the rest of the video and laugh at it and share it with other of our hunting friends. And I think everyone who is a fan of Monster Hunter should go ahead and do that too. Like I said, go check out youtube.com/insanehunter. That's INZANE Hunter at youtube.com. Give them a like, give them a subscribe. Go to this video, tell them the Palibros sent you and that they enjoyed the fucking hell out of this. And Patrick, the Charge Blade main, says thank you. Yeah, I think that was a fucking great ass video. I loved it. Yeah, what did you guys think?
You did a great job. Yeah, I totally echo your point in that I look forward to watching the rest of it. I'm very curious to see Longsword.
Yeah, that was the one I really wanted to see.
Yeah, great content, well said. And there's some, I appreciate there's some knowledge there on the weapon. Like, seems like this person's played most of them, or maybe at least done the research on what they're capable of doing. So it's always nice when someone who's used the weapon a lot can feel like, oh, this person gets it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would like to know that what our audience thinks of the video. Also, let us know what your main weapon was, and let us know, like, if you watch that video, let us know like the pain points or the praise that he gives you. And please again, just give him the view. I think that was phenomenal. And tell him again that we all appreciate it. We had so much fun with it. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of the episode. But before we go, I want to know what Max and Brian's guesses were for the monster's description in this round of the Monster Hunter Mastery game. Let's Get Physical. Again, for those of you who may have tuned in late or fast forwarded, the description goes as follows. This monster is a large amphibian with a striking orange and indigo coloration. Its lower jaw harbors large tusks along with a large set of molars that are capable of crushing prey with ease. This monster also has a spiky, stubby tail that swells up when angered. I feel like, Max, you seem like you're locked in. Am I reading that wrong?
I think I know what it is. There's like one thing that I'm not 100% sure on based on the coloration. So should I just give my answer? I don't have it written down.
Is you know what? It's on the count of 3. If Brian, if you're ready, do you have any idea?
I think I remember what it's called.
That's the hardest part.
No, do I remember what the hell it's called? Okay, I think I'm gonna trade. It's between two monsters. Indigo is like. Do I know what the color indigo is? I think I do. It's blue, right?
Well, I think we might have a problem there.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I don't play Monster Hunter Mastery. I feel like I would sound like a fucking idiot. Even more so.
Okay, I think I know. Indigo's not. That's sort of blue. Okay, I think I can give it a shot.
No, I think you're right. I think indigo is blue. I don't know. I call blue because I'm stupid.
It's blue, azul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So on go ahead and tell me your guys' guess. 3, 2, 1, go.
Tetsukabra.
I heard Tetsukabra and Dodogama.
Yeah.
Brian.
I thought Tetsukabra for a second because I was like, I remember Chatakabra. I'm like, what the fuck's the other one? The Cabra, Tetsukabra. But I don't remember Tetsukabra being blue. But I could be wrong. Dodogama didn't have jaws.
Was it orange?
Is orange, and indigo coloration.
Oh, there is orange as well there.
Yeah,
so
it's main body.
I was torn between Tetsukabra and Drill Tusk Tetsukabra.
This man, see, this is why Max is on the team. He's a fucking master.
I remember whether the coloration was different between the two.
Yeah.
This,
but I knew it was Tetsukabra.
Yeah.
Max
the tail was the giveaway too. Yeah,
the stubby tail.
Stubby, then it swells when angered. I don't remember that mechanic in
I don't remember
any
swelling.
of the fights, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing. It's one of the like first like bigger, larger monsters in Generations Ultimate, so I'm very acquainted with it as well. Yeah, its tail is like this fat little club thing, kind of reminds me of like a Nursilla like ball of like spider webs. It is spiky at the end. I mean, the graphics are 3DS, so it's hard to tell if it's like we're not Red Dead Redemption 2 here. I can't see the balls swell or like shrink based on like how cold it is. But yeah, I think the description did pretty well. I think if I were to give this like in an actual Monster Hunter Mastery, I'd probably give it like a 20 point, maybe 10 points. I feel like it wasn't too difficult, but yeah, then again, the answer is the Tetsukabra, big frog monster. Its main body is pretty much orangish and then has like blue legs and kind of like a white colored tail. But yeah, that let us know in the comments below what your guess was. Did you get it right? Did you get something else? Let us know. But Brian and Max, thank you guys again for coming out to do another episode of the Palibros, and thank you, fellow hunters, for coming through and having fun with us and sharing our love of everything Monster Hunter. If you enjoy what we do here, please like, subscribe, share, and rate us. It will really help us out with discoverability. And don't forget, if you want to catch some live Monster Hunter action, to follow me at twitch.tv/KrabbyPatty, where I stream different Monster Hunter titles as well as a variety of other games. But as always, from all of us here at the Palibros, happy hunting.